¿Tienes el micrófono, tenía el micrófono abierto, María?
Ahora sí. ¿Sí?
Sí.
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Buenas tardes. Pues no estoy bien, César. Por eso quiero hablar contigo para indagar o lo que sea. Está peor o sea, soy puro odio y estoy todo el día igual, siempre enfadada, le llamo a mi madre de todo, estoy siempre llamando hijo puta y todo estoy así todo el tiempo estoy continuamente saltando, estoy irreconocible para mí. Yo ya sé que es la caja de Pandora y todo eso, pero es que observo te hago caso en eso de observar todo eso que sale y cuanto más lo observo, más ira me sale, más me cabreo, más en esos momentos que estoy cabreada y estoy observándome cabreada y más me cabrea el estar cabreada. O sea, es que estoy todo el día igual, insultando a todo el mundo y una bordería encima, no me aguanto ni a mí, estoy insoportable, no, estoy agotada, estoy agotada.
Pon la atención en el yo soy ahora y olvídate de todo eso, que eso ya es pasado.
Es que no tengo claro a qué le llamas yo soy.
Tú sabes que eres, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Entonces pon la atención a tu propio conocimiento de ser, a ti misma.
Vale. Sí, entonces sí.
Retira la atención de los objetos y pon en el sujeto.
Es que hay alguna manera de que salga todo esto sin fastidiar a nadie, sin estar de esa manera,
Pon atención en
jorobando
el,
todo.
olvídate de eso ahora.
Es que ni me concentro siquiera. No me
Vuelve al yo
concentro.
soy. Vuelve al yo. Si no puedes ir al yo soy, por lo menos vuelve al yo.
Es que está la mente súper turbulenta, de
No
verdad.
importa, deja la mente quieta. ¿Quién ve a la mente?
Yo.
Deja la mente quieta. Pon la atención en el yo. Pon la atención en el observador de los pensamientos y déjalos que los pensamientos vayan y vengan como plazcan. No tienes que hacer nada acerca de los pensamientos. Déjalos quietos. ¿Quién los ve? Yo. Pon atención en el yo, en el que ve. Eso es todo. Si lo puedes hacer ahora, lo puedes hacer después, pero ahora aprende cómo se hace. Si es que se puede aún hacer, porque no estás haciendo nada. No trates de controlar a la mente.
Con observarla es suficiente, se irá quemando todo poco a poco, observándolo.
Esa es la idea. Observa al observador, deja la mente quieta. Vas a observarla porque los pensamientos están allí. No puedes no
Claro.
observar. Lo que tienes que dejar a la mente quieta y pon atención en el observador.
Está fuerte la mente, se tiene
Estás pensando,
absorbida, ¿eh?
estás pensando acerca de la mente. Le estás dando realidad a los pensamientos. Quieres que se detenga, ese es el problema.
Hombre, que se detengan, por lo menos la contra el mundo, que es que tengo una ira y
Pon
una
atención
todo el
vuelve la atención al yo.
Es que malo todo, César, de verdad. Por favor. Quémalo todo, por favor,
No,
César.
César no puede quemar nada. Pon la atención en el yo y el absoluto lo quema todo. Va a utilizar la misma energía que creó los pensamientos egoicos para destruir al ego.
Ojalá. Porque es que...
Pon la atención en el yo.
La verdad me gustaría mucho ir ahí a verte, César. Me encantaría. A ver si... Ya puse un mensaje en Telegram y a ver si se anima alguien de España y vamos unos cuantos a verte. Pero a mí me encantaría. Me
Dame un segundo.
encantaría.
Indre,
Sí.
llama a Lola. Llama a Lola, llévala para afuera. Llama a Lola para afuera. Con Lola outside. Lola, go.
Lola, go outside. Lola, out.
Cuando quieran.
A ver si hay suerte y se da. Si se da, pues tiene que ser, será. Eso.
Una atención en el yo.
Estoy súper inquieta.
No importa.
Neta.
Deja la mente que esté inquieto o que no esté inquieto. No importa. Deja la mente quieta.
Pero eso genera nerviosismo, ¿no? También en mí.
Deja que la mente se ponga nerviosa. Así se queman todas las tendencias. Se tienen que
Ah,
manifestar.
vale.
No hagas nada. Deja el cuerpo y a la mente quieta.
Pero es que si toda esa cosa, si todo eso lo pudiera yo, pero sin tener que fastidiar a nadie, estoy llamándole a mi madre, que no me hace nada, hija de puta, zorra, le llamo de todo. Yo nunca le llamé
Ahorita
así.
estás aquí y ahora. Entonces, aquí
Sí,
y ahora deja el cuerpo, la mente quieta. ¿Quién está consciente de la mente y del cuerpo? Yo soy
yo.
consciente. Entonces, pon atención ahí y olvídate de todo lo demás.
Es que he estado temporadas, César, que era capaz de estar un montón de tiempo sin que hubiera, observando la mente y sin involucrarme con ella. Y creo que eso, lo que me parece que por eso, por estar tanto tiempo así, luego es como que se puso todo esto así ahora. No sé explicarlo mejor.
Es natural. Una mente que está muy pura, solamente una mente que esté muy pura colapsa, al menos temporalmente, con 5 segundos de indagación. Una mente que tiene demasiada impureza, demasiadas ideas preconcebidas, demasiada memoria psicológica. La indagación hace que todo eso se purgue. La indagación hace todo lo que las demás prácticas espirituales hacen en un solo golpe. Poner la atención en el observador hace absolutamente todo.
Sí, por eso que hoy, por ejemplo, me acordé de lo que decías cuando estaba en pleno auge, y estaba observando ese cabreo y todo lo que estaba diciendo, y cuanto más lo observaba, más me cabreaba y más ira salía. Observaba todavía más ira salir.
Sí, pero tú me lo estás repitiendo. Es la tercera vez que lo repites. Y al ego le encanta que hablen de él.
Vale. Pero eso es normal, que observar eso
Ya,
causa más.
ya lo dije como 20 veces hoy ya.
Vale. Perdón, estoy agotada. Agotada y agobiada.
Ya también lo dijiste como 3, 4 veces.
César, luego respóndeme, cuando puedas, respóndeme. ¿Viste un correo que te mandé? Para que me digas si recibiste una cosa que te mandé.
Yo
Ya
te
luego
aviso.
me...
A lo que la reciba te aviso. No busques otra excusa para preocuparte de algo.
Es que todo el tiempo así, o hay ira o hay lágrimas.
No importa lo que sea.
Antes por lo menos había lágrimas y risa, pero ahora la risa como que no está.
Pero tú quieres mantener un sentimiento, una emoción permanentemente. Eso es imposible. Todo cambia. Deja que todo cambie.
Vale.
Deja que lo que está sujeto a cambio, cambie. El cuerpo y la mente cambian. La conciencia del cuerpo y la mente no cambia, pero aún así aparece y desaparece. Tristeza, alegría, ganancia, pérdida, placer, dolor, crítica, alabanza, pensamientos positivos, negativos, pensamientos prácticos, lo que sea. Mantente como un observador. El observador también va a desaparecer. Porque queda observación a la conciencia. Así te das dando cuenta que los pensamientos no tienen realidad, que el observador de los pensamientos es un pensamiento que tampoco tiene realidad. ¿Mm? La conciencia no tiene realidad. Y la energía que manifestó todo eso no tiene tampoco realidad. Se llama poder ilusorio. Es como ir de adelante hacia atrás. Cuerpo, que es el mundo. Vas más para atrás, los pensamientos. Vas para atrás, el pensador. Vas para atrás, la conciencia. Vas para atrás, energía no diferenciada. Y más atrás de todo eso está aquello que ve todo lo que acabo de mencionar. Y más allá de eso no hay nada. Y tú eres eso. ¿Qué puede haber más fácil que no hacer nada? Que dejar al cuerpo y a la mente quieto. I think. No, she's coming.
I can speak English. So,
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes in English.
yeah. So hi, Cesar. My name is Pavani. I'm from St. Petersburg, from Russia.
Nice to meet you.
So my friend, she recommended me your satsangs and some days already with you. And I have a question. Like for many years, I already asking myself, who am I? And this feel I am, and all these things. And like recently, I started to wake up with a strong fear in my left side of the body. And I'm asking myself, like, who is experiencing this fear? And usually it's like just fear. And today I realized that like it's a small, like I'm a small girl who is really afraid of my father, like from childhood. And it's like it's so strong that so it's not going like further, like like usually I'm asking like who is aware of that, and it transforms. But in this case, it's like I feel it's very strong and feel like kind of stuck there. So I wanted to some help from you. Some maybe you can say something about it.
Yeah. Now it's 12 to 45 minus 10. Okay. The inquiry may bring, most of the cases, all your subconsciousness to the surface. The so-called psychological aspect of the mind, right? All that is based in body identity, right? That's my father. Whose father is it? Mine. See, mine means body. So these are imprints left, right? As a residual of whatever was perceived, what people call experience, simply perceived through the senses, right? So all what you experience, because you identify yourself as a body, left as psychological memories, right? When the ego disappears, the memory still is there, but the psychological aspect is not going to be there because there will be no identity with it. It's just memory. It's not even individual. In reality, it's collective. There is an energy that is known by many names: Shakti, Kundalini, undifferentiated, potential, creative energy. This energy created matter, created this body, right? And then he gave consciousness to this body. And he created also body identity. So it's kind of an energy, that energy after the body is built, created in the womb, when the brain is already developed, some sort of light, so to speak, illumines the brain. And from then on, there is consciousness. But there is body consciousness, or consciousness of the body. When the baby is born, after some time, there is body identity. That is called ego. Nobody can help it. Not even the energy can help it, neither to create the ego or to remove the ego. Because all that is because of the will of the absolute reality, nameless, formless existence. That is aware of all that energy, matter, consciousness, mind. It's very simple. There's few concepts. There's the absolute reality, right here. Leave that aside. This just is, right? Within that which is, there is an energy, right? It's the biggest, it's the energy that runs the whole universe, right? It is partially unmanifest. It is the highest vibration possible. And within that is infinite amount of possibilities that is capable to do anything, to manifest anything, anything. There is nothing impossible. There is nothing outside of that. Right? So what you call universe is nothing but it's the same energy, right? Let's say it is here in a potential state. And I will put my fingers here. I don't know how to explain it, and this is the world. See, it's partially in an unmanifest state and partially manifest. So what is manifest was here in a potential lateral state, right? As a possibility. Now it's not a possibility, now it is manifest, right? This body is part of that manifestation, right? But this body has no consciousness on its own. See, the consciousness, the body doesn't even have consciousness, it is given. So the same energy creates this sense of self, which is like a very subtle sense of individuality, like a sense of individual existence, right? Which is not a thought, it's not an idea, it's just a feeling. This is what is called the I am feeling, right? That is consciousness, that is beingness, right? Which itself is just knowingness. And then comes body identity. And out of that, because of it's not in the brain, but the brain processes that, then all the memories there. So, all these issues, see, the bad issues and the good issues, both of them, they will show up. Because inquiry will burn all that out, right? Or I would say that it will burn the identity with it, because the memory doesn't go anywhere. Memory remains as memory, it's collective. But it is no longer my memory, my life, right? It's just memory, right? And then you may remember pleasant things, unpleasant things. They still will show up as unpleasant, and they still may produce an impact in the body. Like, for example, the fear of my dad, it can be the fear of, I don't know, a shark, it can be, see? Good memories, bad memories, right? Personal, let's call it personal, right? And there is another memory which is just knowledge. Mathematics, chemistry, history, Russian language, English. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I identify myself as that memory, it is also personal. Right? It's just memory, right? So all that collective is memory. That's all. It's not happening now. All that is, it doesn't have even a reality. There are images in the brain, right? And if you see that memory, the memory is the memory of the body, right? When the body was small and experienced that. So ego is nothing but identification with all of it. There is not even someone that identifies themselves with something. There is your identification, right? Just happens. Like everything else, it just happens. And it happens by the will of the absolute. Enlightenment also, the loss of the ego sense is because of the will of the absolute. There is nobody. If this is the process begin, so to speak, process, right? When it just shows up, you find yourself in an ashram. You find yourself, I don't know, you may go to India as a holiday. See, you think that India is an exotic place. You just go there, you just want to have fun, right? Apparently you. And then you go to India and pass in front of an ashram or a temple and Trambaka Jujamai Sukandim Pushivardhana Murva Rukami Babandana Vidura Murtija Mahamrita. You hear that and you're curious, right? And you enter, and what is this man doing? He's repeating the Vedas. What are the Vedas? The Vedas means the truth, and what is the truth? And then you don't look for that. It just happens, right? And you find yourself already. On the way out. This is why I insist, you don't have to do anything. Simply stop trying to control the body and the mind. There is effortlessly body consciousness, there is effortlessly mind consciousness. And there is effortlessly also identity with all of it. In reality, it's that undifferentiated energy that after creating all that, give consciousness of what do you think that you cannot control? You identify yourself with there is body identity, right? The body does not. You want to stop this thought, you can't. They just happen, isn't it? They just show up. There are energy form, right? A form of energy reflected in the brain as thought. It can be thought, it can be images, right? It can be, I don't know, daydreams, night dreams, mental projections, desires, the memory, the intellect. All that is reflected in the brain. The brain is not even doing that. It has energy that activates that neuron activity, produces all that. And apparently, the body is the experiencer of all that. All that is the body. Otherwise, the body should split into two and be the subject and the object of itself. And then the absolute says, okay, I'm done with this ego. And and it uses the same energy, right, to destroy the ego, which in reality doesn't even exist. It's just a thought, I am the body. The I is thought. First, there is the I amness, kind of a very subtle sense of individuality. See? And out of identity, then there is the idea of being a separate individual self. See? And apparently there is an individual that feels separate from the world and separate from its source, which is that energy. But that energy also has a source, so to speak. See, there is something beyond all that. An absolute void, an absolute emptiness, an absolute nothingness, which is absolute silence. Right? If one stop making effort, trying to realize anything, trying to remove the egos, if we stop trying. Even if we stop trying not to try, because in a split second you can have the knowledge that all what I said now is an indivisible mass of existence, or absolute existence. The body is the word, yes? Or no?
The body what?
It's the world. Right? Then you have the world, body. Then you have mind, thoughts. Then you have consciousness. Then you have the energy that manifests all that. And the absolute existence. In one shot, you become aware that all of it is one and the same. Neither duality or non-duality, nothing. And if that alone is, so what are we talking about? Now, if the ego is there, you will be unconsciously looking for something to be happy. Right? You won't be happy. It might be pleasant. And it might be pleasant for as long as it lasts. Or it might be unpleasant. And unconsciously, you may even go for unpleasant experience just to give continuity to the ego. And that is suffering. That seeking is suffering. Seeking to get that or to avoid that. And seeking itself is suffering.
Mm-hmm.
So if one stops, if seeking stops, not even if one stops seeking, if seeking stops, then the so-called the movement of your life, so to speak, right, has a complete different quality. Life goes on, the show will go on, don't worry. With the ups and downs and these life circumstances, you just go through it somehow. Even if you have to work a lot and get exhausted or life situation, somehow within yourself, there is peace. You on the surface may look tired, super busy, experiencing it, but if within you are absolutely quiet. So you can experience all that in one shot. So whatever is hidden there, is a memory, you don't identify yourself with the memory, it's not yours, it's just memory. Because it was accumulated through a particular organism, then the memory will come with the image of the body when it was 7 years old, when it was 20 years old, and I have an issue with my dad, and he was very aggressive and violent, and whatever, and I got a trauma because of that, and I developed fear, right? So the image of the body will be there with the memory, right? What is not individual is not personal at all.
You mean it's not individual, what? Experience, body?
There is no individual experience, there is no individual person, there is no individual self, there is no individual soul. It's all an illusion.
So you mean this experience?
The energy that manifested all that is called sometimes illusory power. It's the illusory power within the absolute. So what comes from an illusory power, forcibly is an illusion. Nobody says it's bad, it's wrong. I must reject it, control it. No, it's just illusory.
But this experience, it was illusion or it was real?
Absolutely illusory. Even this experience now is completely illusory. Spirituality happens in the awakened state. Enlightenment happens. All this is illusory. All that is a phenomenon. Seeking
it's like a dream?
It's like a dream, right? And that energy is the generator of the dream, right? And it is,
And I see.
and it happens, see, by the absolute, for the absolute, including me is there for the absolute. Because a show without apparent individual self, so
It's like all what was happening. It was like I was dreaming and I saw the dream.
yes,
Like,
yes. See, you can speak with a scientist. All what you perceive through the senses is interpreted by the brain. There's an image in the brain. So the sense organs receive the information and the brain makes an interpretation. Now, if you were a fly, because of the body structure of the fly, but your world will be different. You may not even see in colors, right? So which world is real? The one perceived through a human body, or from a mosquito, or from a fish, from a stone, from a tree? Because consciousness is in every, from the subatomic particles, see, from the quark. Even the science may deny that. Right? There is consciousness, a sense of individual existence in the cells in the body, right? Yeah, cell moving there, right? And apparently there is an individual cell, and then there is consciousness. If you are familiarized with this knowledge, they say that the one and only one power, right, separates itself, you see, and appears as multiple individuals. There hasn't, no, there is, it is one and the same.
but it's like all this experience, it's the same like a night dream. Like there's no big difference between experience in the past and just dream in the night. It's like
no difference. No difference. Your dreams at night is just your subconsciousness getting liberated. Unfulfilled desires, fears, mental, all that happens. And sometimes it happens in the awakened state. And if you do the inquiry and your mind is not balanced enough, so to speak, then all this will show up in the awakened state. All that will show up.
But why night dreams doesn't affect the body and daydreams affecting body? I mean, what?
Of course,
Like,
you can have a nightmare. When you wake up, you are terrified. And you feel that in the body. And the dream, you feel that in the body.
but it goes fast after when you realize that you wake up.
Yeah, when you realize that this is also, that when you go to sleep, that's dream number 1, this is dream number 2, then everything will go fast. You may have an experience now unpleasant, you may be upset, you may have to... And after 30 seconds, it's gone.
But why? What was happening like in childhood? It's really stores in the body. Why it doesn't?
Because that's how it works. See, you have to create a persona of memory, right? This is me when I was 3 years old. This is me when I was 5 years old. This is me with my dad and my mom. And this is me going to school. And then you begin to accumulate knowledge, right? And all that is me, right? You identify, its identity is all of it. And then you graduate, first is body identity, right? And this, which is an object, appears to be a subject, yes or no? And now apparently this object is a subject, experiencing object, as if they were separate from itself, right? I am here and you are there. See, there's come I, that little thought. From that little thought, the whole story begins. I. And then you, see? Two, duality. I am here and you are there. Separation, right? And I am different from you, differentiation. And I'm independent from you. You be there, I'm here. No, I don't need you. Don't depend from you, right? And then I'm better than you or worse than you, right? Or based in body identity, I'm more nicer than you, nice looking, and you are not. All that comes. And then I am good and you're bad and right and wrong, and the whole thing shows up. And then you study something. I am a woman, right? Identity with one body. I am Cesar, right? Then I am Cesar-Teruel, so identity with other bodies. But I am also Teruel Machado, so identity with another group of bodies, right? But my mom is Machado White, so identity with another bodies. And my father is Machado, I don't remember, Freites. And then his identity with other bodies, right? We call that family, right? The family tree. And then I was born in Venezuela. See, more identification. Now I am Venezuelan. Identity with a piece of land that also is believed to be an individual country, see, a separate country. Oh, God, internet is gone. It's back.